Live at lunch.
You are looking live.
Live at lunch. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
What the hell's going on out here?
Now, here's Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it live?
From Rufino's on Highland Road, welcome to the Friday edition, pre-Super Bowl edition of Live at Lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, Charles Hannegriff, Jimmy Ott, Max Gotro, Barry the bartender, and back in the studio, Jordan Kinchins. We got a full board here today of guests to give you their thoughts on Super Bowl 60. We got lots of prop suggestions for you and some picks on the game. Bruce Marshall will be with us. Troy Macker is with us. Chris Massaro is with us. You going to the bullpen too, right? You going to Tuscaloosa? Bringing
Willie Clem.
Willie Clem's.
He was on fire at the end last year.
He
at the
was.
Super Bowl, so I had to,
brought him back. He
getting out of class at 12:20, putting him on at 12:30.
We got
putting his behind to work.
I tell you what, the young guy really showed us how it was done last year.
He did.
For the
I
Super
got
Bowl
the coach's picks from Natchez.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So Bruce Marshall. So I got some good ones. I think some good ones.
They all look good on Friday, man.
Yeah.
I got my group.
I sound like a guy coming out of drafting his fantasy team. Huh?
Yeah, everybody likes their team.
Yeah, everybody loves.
Except my friend Johnny. Every year he goes, "My team stinks."
Is he? That's the only guy I've ever heard of that.
Every year.
The only time I've ever heard of that.
I've been drafting with him for 30 years, and football, baseball, my team stinks every year coming out of the draft. Lot to get to. So the Hall of Fame, the NFL awards last night.
You didn't watch the show, huh?
In and out. I was watching the LSU women's basketball game more. I'll be honest with you. I was kind of in and out on the award show, but it was.
Well, this is how we got. This is how we're finding out. This is how everybody. They would say it, and then all the tweet alerts come out right after.
Yeah.
So nobody's getting this before the show.
Right. They were very secretive about this. So let's kind of go. Drew Brees got in, which there's no surprise, and that was great. Okay, it's historic. We spent a lot of time talking about it. That was no surprise. Larry Fitzgerald, same thing. We knew that he was getting in. We thought that Luke Kuechly would get in, and he did. My fifth pick was Adam Vinatieri to get in. He got in. I thought Terrell Suggs would get in. I think he should have got in, and he didn't. I suspect that he will get in next year. But
no Eli Manning again.
No Eli Manning. The New Orleans media kind of tipped us off to that at the press conference earlier this week. He did not get in, nor did Jyrie Evans, the longtime Saint offensive lineman who was one of the finalists. He didn't get in. The MVP voting, though, Jimmy, was
I can't believe it.
So incredibly close. And so, first of all, Stafford wins it, which we expected, but we did not expect the close margin. Mm-hmm. And then he makes news in the speech. He's coming back next year.
He's great, man. It was really, really good. The cute little
brought
girls,
his kids up there with him.
All four of his daughters. It was cool. It was cool. And it was just tastefully done.
Yeah.
The mom, the wife, she stays at the table and lets him kind of, and she enjoys that better. It just kind of, he's so likable, man. But I don't know. He says, I'm going to run it back. And, his teammates in the crowd are fired up. Coach is fired up. And then he says, oh, wait. You're sending us to Australia? I'm out.
Yeah.
What? A division game. Didn't the division game decide the whole damn thing this year?
It did.
If they're playing in SoFi, you think that Seattle wins? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
No.
That's the Seattle. That's a home.
They lost
that's a home field advantage.
They lost the game by 3 points, I think.
Four.
Okay. Yeah, it was close.
No, they could have kicked the field goal.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So what ends up deciding this is one voter voted for Justin Herbert. He was Sam Monson, who used to work for Pro Football Focus, but I'm not sure who he votes, okay? And a first-place vote is worth 10 points. Second place is 5. Third place is 3. even if May was second on Monson's ballot, a swap with Herbert would have tied him with Stafford. If he was third or lower on Monson's ballot, a swap with Herbert would have won May the award altogether. So I give Monson credit that he came out and explained his choice. He says, I voted for Justin Herbert. The guy had the worst offensive line in the NFL all season and was working miracles almost every single game. Stafford's offensive line became 2/5 as bad as Herbert's for 5 minutes, and he started turning the ball over. He embodied value. So at least he had a reason, okay? I don't know that I could have voted Justin Herbert.
Well, it's one of the components we use.
It is.
I mean, you have to do it.
I respect him for at least explaining himself.
It shouldn't decide the whole thing.
And it's not a ridiculous explanation. I wouldn't have used it myself, but okay.
Okay, but that's not the – that's I'm more concerned about the guys that voted for May.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you focus on that. I mean, that's not what made it close. It's the guys that voted for May.
Yeah.
I mean, Stafford threw for how many more yards than him? I mean, it's like 600 yards, 500 yards more, something like that.
And 15.
Now, what's the name? Ran for more yards. He ran for more.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to, he threw for 15 more touchdowns.
Yeah.
Against a tougher schedule. You don't even if you don't give an inch for lifetime achievement, which we've seen that happen in the past, there had to be a little bit of that factored in, huh? Stafford's a possible Hall of Famer, is he not?
I think he is a absolute Hall of Famer.
Okay, so I mean,
he threw for 313 more yards.
And May rushed for a little bit more than that than him.
And the touchdowns was 46 to 31.
Yes.
Yeah.
50% more.
Quarterback rating, Stafford was 109 and May was 113, so that was better.
50% more touchdowns.
Yeah. It's a lot more touchdowns. The rating was better for May.
How about the caliber of competition? How about the team that's
they threw the same amount of interceptions?
Yeah, I know. I know. It's not close. How is it close?
The rate because of the quarterback. I'm trying to think along with the voters. I would have voted for Stafford too. The quarterback rating, the completion percentage, and the rushing yards. In their mind, I guess, made up for the touchdown and yardage discrepancy.
No, I think it's more he helped his team to they won the division too. They were a 2 seed instead of a 5. But damn it, he can't do any more when you lost the division and a 1 seed, can he? He threw for how much against the best, one of the top 5 defenses easily, maybe one of the best, the best in the league. He ripped them to shreds.
He threw for the most yards and the most touchdowns. His quarterback rating was an eyelash below May's. I would have voted for him.
So how about he does all that, and what's he do? They still, Seattle gets an overtime. Okay, what's he do? He takes his team, scores a touchdown in overtime.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what do you? Well, how is this close? I was shocked.
I was shocked it was that close, but you asked the question, I answered it. Okay, you don't have to agree with it. And I would have voted for Stafford.
Well, I heard one guy, Ira Kaufman from Tampa Bay, forever. He comes on Mad Dog all the time. Been for years. Funny as hell. Love the guy. But he said maybe because he never had a bad game. That was his reason. He voted for May. He voted Stafford second. Never had a bad game. The caliber of competition was discussed a lot by these voters. A lot. And you cannot get away from that. They had that's the story of the year, the season. What were the games of the season that helped shape that impacted the season the most? It's the NFC West. And I mean, and then they go to and San Francisco's beat up on defense. Okay, so they go down there, a critical game on that Saturday night. What do? They hold San Francisco to 3 points. That's the same defense he shredded.
Yeah.
I'm now look, I hedged a little bit. I won't, but I'm dumbfounded how close it was.
I didn't think it would be that close either. But
15 more touchdowns, Charlie.
460 yards rushing, 4 more touchdowns there, better quarterback rating. Again, same amount of interceptions. I didn't think it'd be that close. I think the right guy won. Okay, and I just the Justin Herbert thing. If that guy votes differently,
wait a minute. How about you? You going to hold yourself to the same standard?
Me?
Yes. The live at lunch, and damn, Max. Where's Max?
Running
yes,
late.
there is a vote coming up to rescind your vote or your opinion on the Defensive Player of the Year award. You made a case for Anderson yesterday.
Yeah.
Garrett won unanimous.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we knew he was. We knew he was going to
I'm
win.
jabbing you, man.
I know.
Unanimous. So I said, "Where's Charlie?"
Said the sack record. I mean, we knew he was going to win. The
Jackson Dart had a nice companion.
I missed that part.
Lord, son.
My
God.
I heard about that.
Yes.
Coach of the year. That one was Vrabel.
Verbal. Say it right.
Vrabel.
Verbal.
Why?
Well, that's how she said it.
Oh,
twice. The presenter. Can she memorize the 5 names?
Yeah. It's not like she had to. Not like she had
and
to,
the winner is Mike Verbal. And you think like, what? Maybe I heard it wrong.
Yeah.
Something. And you go, and she says, well, Coach Verbal couldn't be. No, she doubled down and made sure you. She said verbal.
Oops. No, I didn't hear that. Like I said, I was paying way more attention to the basketball game than I was. I was back and forth.
Guy's funny. The comedian's good.
And
good.
I didn't listen to him.
But here's the best. I know it's a show, and you kind of you got sort of this. You blend in this comedy and this Hollywood or pop. These with football. Okay, with a sport, and so it's kind of. It's got its cheesy spots. There's no doubt. It's got, and then my buddy Mitch Moss, who's got a lot of votes. Action on these awards.
Yeah.
Because he really is. If there's a guy I will put as far as the futures, I'll defer to him more than anybody. I really think and he tweets out, and his wife, I've met her before, and she used to be a news anchor in Las Vegas television station, and then she's also a chef, a formerly trained chef. So we talked a lot about food and things like. But anyway, and so she's cool, and she sits there, and as they're saying some of the silliness with this whole show, she goes, "You really bet on this crap?" I said, "Yes, Lorraine, we do." With a crying.
You get more in the futures market than I do. I'm with Lorraine. I'm kind of like I got a hard enough time picking when I know everything that's going to happen
That's
this
why
week.
I'm like, when I'm thinking about this, I'm like, we're really going to have to tune into this show. Like Ethan and his buddies went last year. It's that level, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I get it. It's a show. That's why, again, I was back and forth. I watched the basketball game and everything.
You didn't have any political statements, at least.
And that's good. The guy that we thought would win every award, the favorite, won every award except. I don't know if we ever saw odds on Man of the Year, the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
No, they didn't.
Okay,
they didn't
which is good. I'm glad they didn't put odds out on that.
And they didn't do the lineman.
Yeah, they did.
No,
the
they
odds.
were not odds.
The odds, okay.
No.
But Max picked that one right. He had Joe Thuney.
Oh, really?
And he won.
Tooney?
Thuney. Is that how you say
said
it?
Thuney.
Okay, Thuney.
Tooney.
Okay.
Tooney.
He won. Bobby Wagner won the Man of the Year. There was a lot of thought that Travis Kelce would get
impressed?
it.
That's good.
He's great. That guy's salt of the earth.
Charlie,
I did see his speech this morning
Okay.
about his mom.
that's-
No, he was great. He was fantastic.
But another case, man. Not getting a whole lot of offers. Everybody, looks at past him. He barely gets a Utah State, rips it up.
Yeah.
And here, oh man, no, those guys. And look, man, and who's up there? So the 32 nominees for their teams for Man of the Year award.
Yeah.
There he is. Ah, boy, he's still rocking. Career high in tackles for the Saints.
Demario Davis
I
has been
mean,
nominated
there
for that
he
thing
is,
3 times.
boy.
I would have loved to see him
How
win.
great is he?
Fantastic.
He's great.
Him and Cam Jordan and what they've done.
He
in the
is
New
the
Orleans
reason,
community.
man. Those guys were playing like it was a Super Bowl coming down the stretch
Yes.
where everybody else is checked out, man.
If you read some of those stories, I read his story. The Saints put out, their presentation. It was fantastic. And if you read some of these things, they're really, really good. Everything else, Vrabel wins Coach of the Year, McCaffrey Comeback Player of the Year.
Verbal.
Schlesinger, Defensive Rookie of the Year. He was the favorite. Ted McMillan, Offensive Rookie of the Year, beat out Tyler Shook, who was second, and Jackson Smith in Jigba, the Offensive Player of the Year.
We're going to have to ask Massaro Woodsy. He's got the biggest – because, he's Italian. He's from Boston, and he loves his teams, and he gets a little fired up, a little fiery. He gets a little fiery. I mean, which pissed him off the most?
Well, when you talking to him about how bad Drake May should have lost to Matthew Stafford, I think he's going to get a little fired up.
I know.
But I'm going to let him do that.
I did text him the night when they overreacted with the odds. I said, bro, Stafford's like plus 500. You bet if you don't hedge on this. I mean,
I'm just the facts over here.
The appetizer features today: the stuffed portobello with Italian sausage and Parmesan romesco cream, the oysters oreganata. We've got we're running a back this weekend. The beef cheek egg rolls and the stuffed eggplant soup. Our entree features. We got grouper today and the Wagyu flat iron. Charlie, I had to come here and sample it last night. That's right. I sat over here with the mushroom bread pudding, sauteed green beans, and herb butter. He does a little demi-glace, which is perfect, man. A little drizzle over the steak and the mushroom bread pudding. You talk about good, man. Had a nice glass of duck horn with it last night. Man, I highly suggest if you're coming in this weekend, the Wagyu flat iron steak here at Ruffino's. We have pork chops as well, 2-bone pork chops with creamy polenta, roasted carrots, and a red wine jus. Suggested wine pairing is a Sazzani Pinot Noir out of Willamette County.
Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Remember, you can always get the show on demand, 1045ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net. New Hannycast up, previewing baseball pitchers on YouTube right now. All of it brought to you by Supreme Rice and SupremeRice.com, celebrating their 90th anniversary here in 2026 and serving our Louisiana farmers. Go to SupremeRice.com.
All right, let's bring in Massaro. Coach Verbal, huh?
I'll tell you right now.
Here we go. I'm going to take a break this segment.
A couple things. We'll get the low hanging fruit right. We'll grab the low hanging fruit first. Those so-called entertainers or comedians last night. What an embarrassment by the NFL. I mean, you're bringing out people. No one even knows who they are. I mean, no one knows who they are. I'm not going to get too political about it, but it's just embarrassing. I mean, you can't pronounce the coach's name. The joke when they're trying to pronounce JSN's name, it's just sophomoric ridiculousness. And it just dress normal. Why can't we just have people dressing normal? Just let the parents talk. I thought when the parents talked or the family members, it was excellent. Anytime someone else talked, it was embarrassing. We'll move on from that.
You had a problem with Dart State you had a problem with Dart State, the way she was dressed?
Jimmy's in
She wasn't on the stage, dude. She looked good. But she's, that's not good. Obviously, that's not going to last. That's just a foot, Listen. I listened to the beginning of your show, and what Charlie said right at the end was, obviously, you're trying to get me fired up. Was that first 10 minutes just to drive me insane? Because we don't have to rehash the whole MVP. We don't have to rehash the whole MVP thing. I had Drake May at 95-1. Mitch Moss had it 95-1. We bet it the same day. We're sitting at Cirque. I go, Mitch, look at these stats. It's the same as Josh Allen. Josh Allen's, minus 280, and Drake May's 95-1. Granted, Josh Allen had nothing to do with it. Let's look back. Stafford, fine. He had a great year. He had more passing yards and more passing touchdowns, and he threw the ball 100 times more. He's playing with Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, and a great offensive line. If Matthew Stafford played for the Patriots, he wouldn't have got past the fourth game of the season because he would have been injured, because he would have got sacked all those times. So you can go this and that. Hey, better average yards per pass, better quarterback rating, more rushing touchdowns, rushing yards, 54 first downs rushing for Drake May. Guy had a really good year. I'm telling you. I mean, I was surprised.
No, there's no doubt. And look, you got to give me credit. I said, Chris, this is like 5-1. This is an overreaction. I'll give credit because Max alerted me first that night. I said, man, I got to I didn't have anything on it. You had all that leverage. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you did to a degree. You profited. I mean, I know how you do
Oh
things.
no!
I mean,
I listen. I'm looking at my circuit ticket right now. It was like $175 to make 16,000, and I had probably like 2,500 to make 7,500 on Stafford. So it worked out great for me. I'm shocked it was as close as it was because I figured the voters, lifetime achievement award.
So you
more
surprised
touchdowns.
too. That was my point.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
That's a good point.
I mean,
I'll
there's
give you
one
that.
vote
That's a
away.
good point.
It's one vote away.
Crazy. Crazy.
Because whether it's fair or not, you have to admit, lifetime achievement element has impacted these votes in the past, right? We're not trying to say who deserves or who doesn't. But it has, all right? Man, I don't know how it could have at all in this. He threw for 15 more touchdowns. That's almost 50% more than what May threw, the touchdowns, okay? And the lifetime achievement element, you know how these voters are. We're not trying to say who's deserving, but who are these guys going to pick? And Stafford's got a chance to be a Hall of Famer. May, he's got many more chances to win an MVP. Many more, and we don't know. Just he's off to a great start, but we don't know how this thing's going to play out with his career.
No, I agree with you. And listen, I like Stafford. He had a great year. If you read my tweet last night, I said Drake May didn't get there, but to utilize the value to make money, which is what I did. And Stafford was a deserving MVP. He had one hell of a year. That's what I said. I'm not taking anything away from him. I thought he had a great year. So. All power to him. Everyone's happy. I don't think anyone's that upset. I think, to your point, people were a little bit surprised that it was only one vote away from May winning the thing.
But I was thinking for the last few weeks, because we're obviously, Max, and you can chime in whenever you want to. I was like, because my son went to the one last year in New Orleans, him and his buddies, and I'm like, are we going to have to? Is this when they're going to unveil it? And you learned early that all the tweet guys. Schefters and who else, they were not getting this. This was the first that anybody was getting this, who won these awards. And, I mean, it was like, are we going to have to watch this show to get this information? And then, what's the name? Mitch Moss's wife's comments was the best. You guys gamble on this crap.
Oh, it was painful. It was painful.
It's painful.
In between the actual award, you had to deal with what apparently is some sort of new comedy that it's not funny. I don't understand it. It was tough to watch.
All right, let's get to your picks. Let's go. Who we got?
All right, listen, Patriots fandom aside and my future 60-1 aside, I really think 4.5 is great value on the Patriots. If you look back in Super Bowl history, the Patriots have been to the Super Bowl 9 times since 2001. Super Bowl 36, the first year where they came out of nowhere, they win 20-17, 3-point game. Super Bowl 38, 39, 32-29, another 3-point game. Super Bowl 39, 24-21, another 3-point game where they won all three. Then they had the game against the Giants, a perfect season. They lose 17-14, another 3-point game. They lose the next game to the Giants, 21-17, 4-point game. They beat Seattle, another 4-point game. They win the overtime game. I just think the Patriots' way of play is it's just the way it is. It's going to be a close game, and if you're in a close game with two good defensive teams, 4.5 points seems like a lot of good value. You can say schedule all you want. I heard you talk in the beginning how the schedule is this, the schedule is that. Who exactly has Seattle played the last 10 weeks of the season? Yeah, they played the Rams, and the Rams went up and down the field on them, but they played a lot of questionable guys. They played an injured Jaden Daniels, Jacoby Brissett twice, Cam Ward, Max Brosmer, Kirk Cousins, Phillip Rivers out of retirement. Phillip Rivers went up and down the field on the Seattle team. So they played Bryce Young when he had 54 yards passing. And they played San Francisco twice when they had no one left on offense and the defense was totally decimated. So I would just pump the brakes on all the love on Seattle. I know everyone you talk to. I was in Vegas all last week talking to random people who you don't even bet a lot. They're like, oh, my God, the Patriots are going to get blown out. The Patriots are going to get blown out. I just don't think so. I think it's going to be a close game. I think 3 points either way. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be shocked if I saw a blow-up in this game.
All right. So let's stretch it a little bit. The Colts had 220 yards in that game. It's not up and down the field. I understand what you're going for. The schedule is a schedule. Hey, look, I'm on your side. I mean, this is like the highest percentage of one-sided bets in the Super Bowl history. In this
Is it
game.
really?
Yes. Yes.
The high ever?
That's what we're talking about. 70% of the tickets.
What I'm saying is the only time a team does really well against Seattle, it seems to be the Rams. Well, the Rams are the only team they've really played in the last 10 weeks that didn't have an injured quarterback, a retired quarterback, a rookie quarterback, or Kirk Cousins or Max Brosmer. They haven't played any. San Francisco had no offensive weapons. The second time they played them, they didn't even have Kittle. The kickoff return at the start of the game was over before it started. The only confident offense they've played the last 10 weeks of the season has been the Rams, and the Rams have lit them up. I'm just not sure how great the defense is. Everyone says it's a great defense. I don't think it's a great defense. I think it's a good defense.
Chris, you know why you get it's recency bias. And if you watch the two games back to back, I mean, people thought Seattle was way more impressive. And that's it. Now, I mean, there's a lot of conditions in Denver. I mean, which made it as ugly as it is.
The conditions in Denver, the conditions
guys like
the
Randy,
Chargers and Houston wasn't good either.
Guys like Randy McKay and myself, there's this long, this recency bias fade for a long time has been pretty profitable. We need to get to the picks. Your props. Let's go.
Okay, so a couple of props I like, and you might have kind of got it from what I just said for the recent Super Bowl history of the Patriots. I like the game to land exactly on 3 points. You can get plus 450 that either team's going to win exactly by 3. I also like in the first half Seahawks lead by 3 or Patriots lead by 3. You can get plus 600 on the Seahawks, plus 750 on the Patriots. I think it's going to be a close, tight game the whole way. I don't see either team really getting the explosive plays. I know they have JSN, but I think the fact that you got Gonzalez covering him and the old Belichick way was to take out the best player on the other team, and I think that's what they're going to try to do with some safety help over the top. Gonzalez, try to slow down JSN, not stop him. The guy's obviously incredible offensive player of the year. So I'm going to go another prop I like under JSN. You should wait until the final minute to bet this because you're going to, you get all the public people who are going to want to bet over JSN yards. But you could, I've seen anywhere from 93.5 to 95.5, but wait for the last minute to bet under on that. So, Again, I like to win by exactly 3. I like to be between 1 and 3 either way in the first half. And I also like scoreless quarter. If you look back at the Patriots' history in the Super Bowl, they've had, it's just an incredible, incredible stat, 7 scoreless first quarters in their Super Bowl history. Super Bowl 36, 38, 39, 42, 46, 49, 51, all went scoreless. You can get scoreless quarter plus 280. Obviously, it doesn't have to be the first quarter. They've had scoreless third quarters as well.
Right.
I can just see. I could see it being conservative game plan. Both of these teams with quarterbacks who have had a tendency to turn the ball over, especially recently with Drake May. I think they're going to try to, even though they both have good run defenses, I still think they're going to try to establish the run. I could see the first quarter being a scoreless quarter.
All right, game ends on 3. Under JSN yardage, 93.5, scoreless quarter, and the one. Would you have to win by to be leading?
I think either team to win by exactly 3.
We got that. We got the game ends on 3. Yeah.
And then the first half, either team to win by 3. You can play it both ways, and you hope it's a close game going into halftime.
Okay, so first half ends on 3. Halftime ends on 3.
No. First half, either team to lead by 1, 2, or 3 going into the halftime.
Right. The halftime score 1 to 3. Either team.
1 to 3, either way. And then I like
What's
the
odds
game
on
to
that?
end exactly on 3. Yeah.
Either team 1 to 3 lead.
You got any long shots for MVP, guys?
Yeah, you got to fade the Darnold stuff, man. Everybody's getting flooded on the Darnold stuff. I mean, they want this guy, so pick somebody else. I mean, can Kenneth Walker win it? I mean, May's going to be short, but I mean, just there's somebody out there. So Charlie was trying to figure out Will Campbell to win. So
you want a real long shot? Keyshawn Boutte.
Charlie's got Will Campbell catching 3 tackle eligibles for touchdowns.
I don't know how you
so it has to be an LSU player, I guess.
No. Good luck. Enjoy the halftime show.
Oh, I'll be watching Real America's Voice. Kid Rock and some country guys have some good stuff coming on. We won't be watching Bad Bunny. Love you guys.
Go.
Talk to you
Thank
soon.
You. All right, man. Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title for all your real estate closings. 296-0060. Full service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Ashley Donald, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, Marion Haynes, Natalie and Bradford Smith. Buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds at Legacy Title. 296-0060. Boy, he's a handful.
Plus 12,500 on Boutte to win the MVP.
There they go. Boutique.
Boutte. I can't.
Booty.
Yeah. Kayshawn.
Does he lose his vote? Or his opinion on Defensive Player of the Year?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Max, go to break.
Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Otten Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. Three best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Macker from Bet Rivers.
All right, Troy, let's get right to it. Let's get your best 2 or 3 props that you're looking at. What are we looking at, Troy?
Yeah, so we'll start with the shortest and go to the longest. The shortest one is that I have is Seahawks to score the first TD. Seahawks have scored the first TD in their last 5 games. Obviously it depends on who gets the ball first, but I think the Patriots can be a little bit of a slow starting team, not the Seahawks. So I like that. It's minus 148. Second one is the game to be tied after 0-0. Yeah, that's minus 118. I just think there are a lot of scenarios in which we see another tie. That's one I typically do every Super Bowl. And I suppose you can do it during regular season games, but it's not, this is a game about props. So that's one I'm doing. And then the third one is a bit of a reach, but it's, there's trends that check out, and it's any offensive lineman to score a TD at plus 2,000. There's an alternate way that you can kind of take if you make split bets on any other Patriots player or any other Seahawks player, that is basically anyone who's not a skill position player. But you'd have to place 2 bets, and those would be around plus 2,500. Because I think especially with Vrabel, there's the chance that if they're on the goal line, they run a offensive lineman or a defensive lineman, or they have a gadget play. As Vrabel scored, what was it? I think 10 or 12 touchdowns in his career on 10 or 12 receptions. So I do like that, given that this is a game that you might see a trick player too.
So it's listed as offensive lineman or any other. What would that be exactly listed as?
So the one I'm going with is offensive lineman to score a TD at plus, and you get any offensive lineman from either team. But like I was saying, there's a way you can bet any other player on the Seahawks, which is plus 2,800, or any other player on the Patriots plus 2,500. You'd have to make 2 bets if you want to, include special teamers or defensive linemen as well. But for this one, I'm just going any offensive lineman to score TD plus 2,000.
Troy, are you guys getting flooded with Seattle and overaction like everybody else?
So not overaction. I mean, right now, 63% of the money, 61% of the tickets on over. It's come down a little bit, honestly. I believe it was closer to 70 during the week. But, yeah, this is a unique case for the Super Bowl. Usually it's pretty right down the middle. I know it has been each of the last couple of years. But right now, 75% of the money, 71% of the tickets on the Seahawks outright. And then spread money, 80% of the money and 61% of the tickets on the Seahawks. You don't see that for a Super Bowl. Certainly, we're ways away in terms of betting. We've probably only taken about 15% of the total handle as of now. But that's still just a very surprising percentage to see in the 1 or 2 days leading up to the Super Bowl, that 80% of the money is on one team to cover.
And that is the exact percentage that I'm hearing the different sports books, put out. About 15% of what we've taken so far. But this is on pace, and it's early, but this kind of gives you a sign. Being the most lopsided bet Super Bowl ever. ever.
That surprises me.
70%. He just said 71 and 73%. 70% would be the most upside.
Because we've had much bigger favorites in the Super Bowl, and the public tends to jump on the favorites. And I would just think that in some of these,
like New England and Rams, the Rams.
The first one that popped in my head was the Chargers and the
Chargers.
Lions.
Yes.
When Steve Young blew them out, I would have thought it would have been one of those games on the favorite.
I even played the 49ers in that one. I don't think 3 touchdowns from playing an NFL game ever, but I did that night. So
it's a little interesting to me only
Troy.
because certainly the Patriots don't have a world-class receiver room, but they do have the runner-up in the MVP who is 1 or 2 votes away. We know that the Seahawks quarterback, Sam Darnold, people love the story, but no one has been racing to back Sam Darnold teams over the last 2 years. At the window, we had minimal Seahawks futures. Seahawks, we didn't take just a ton of money on him in any regard. He's, people continue to question him. So I'm a little surprised it is this strong because the Patriots are a very good team. Now they've played bad quarterbacks this year. We know that. And we know the Seahawks have the best defense in the NFL. I am just a little surprised given Drake May has had no worse than the second best season this year that it is so lopsided in one direction.
I think it's just the recency bias of what we saw in the conference championship game. And it was a very ugly and almost a fortunate win against a quarterback that hadn't thrown a pass in 2 years. I mean, it was. I mean, they had to hang on. They had to hang on. I mean, the recency bias really drives, especially the casual bettor. The guys that very little or this, so much of the handle is made up for the Super Bowl of people making one bet a year. Yeah. And so that's what they saw, or maybe bet the conference championship 2 games and then they bet the Super Bowl. I mean, it's so much. I mean, we're a little bit deeper into this stuff. So, there's been conference championship games where one team would barely squeak by or pulled off an upset. I mean, New England and Chicago, Charlie. They had 16 turnovers in those 3 playoff games that they benefited from against the Jets, the Raiders, and Miami. And that was the first time in 19 tries to beat Miami in Miami, back in '85. So, I mean, this is
teams that squeak by in the championship game and then blow them out in the Super Bowl. Is that what we're?
Well, like Buffalo against the Giants. Buffalo was a big favorite. The Giants got a field goal. A bunch of field goals by Barr to get by San Francisco.
That Raiders wildcard team that beat, I want to say it was the San Diego Chargers. And then they blew the Eagles out in Super
Washington?
Bowl 15. No.
Was that the Philadelphia year?
That was the Philadelphia year where I want to say they won the AFC Championship game by a touchdown or less, and then they blew the Eagles out.
No. They beat the Chargers by more than.
It was more than a touchdown?
Yeah, multiple scored. Yeah, it was kind of it was out of – because the Chargers were a favorite at home, and I think they beat them both games during the regular season.
They beat the Chargers 3 times that year?
No. The Chargers beat them twice.
Right, because the Raiders were the wild card team.
Yes. So, y'all getting some love on Darnold to win the MVP too, Troy?
Yeah. To be expected, even though, like I said, he took limited action. That market was open pretty much the entire year. Limited action on Sam Darnold at any point. And we've seen an uptick in Sam Darnold money, but it's interesting because the most popular ticket is Drake May, which is weird because the quarterback from the winning team is most likely to win the MVP. I can't remember the last time we had a player from the losing team win the MVP. I think like 2 years ago you could have made the case that Jalen Hurts could have won it. But, yeah. And we offer that. That is, I believe it's like 40 to 1 or something. But it's interesting with such large handle on the Seahawks, as we've mentioned, that the most popular MVP bet is on the Patriots quarterback. Even though, we have taken a good bit of tickets on Sam Darnold. Here, too, we had a bettor who placed a $1,000 wager on Andres Borregales to win MVP. He's the kicker for the Patriots. And that same bettor bet $1,000 on Jason Myers to win MVP. He's the kicker for the Seahawks. So if it's a low-scoring game, lots of field goals, and the Patriots win another Super Bowl at the gun with a field goal, that bettor will win. And I believe it's 300 to 1 or 400 to 1. Will win $300,000. So people are really going for it, which I like to see.
One losing team MVP. You remember 1972? Chuck Hawley from the Cowboys
against the Colts. That's when they were turning in their their votes early.
And I think the closest a kicker's ever come to winning the MVP was Super Bowl 16 when Ray Wersching had 4 or 5 field goals for San Francisco. Montana had a very quiet game in that game. They played the Silverdome where they beat the Bengals.
You couldn't have done it in the Rams-New England game?
Vinatieri won 2 of these things with a game-winning kick. So I guess, but I remember there being a lot of. I remember Matt Madden was on that call, and he was Ray Wersching. There were 4 pretty difficult kicks.
Well, Madden was on the call down in the Dome too with the Patriots.
That's right.
14-point dogs, and they had a pick 6. I mean, but Brady didn't exactly light it up.
No.
Who was the MVP?
The MVP of that game. Oh gosh,
I don't even remember.
It was Deion Branch.
No, that was the Eagles.
That was the other one?
That was the Eagles Super Bowl.
Antoine Smith?
It might have been Antoine Smith because they rode him a lot. So, Max, look that up, that Super Bowl Rams.
You were there.
I know. U2 was great. I don't know how. I'm still trying to figure this out. I've been to a bunch of concerts in the Dome. I don't know how the NFL figured out the acoustics and not make – because so many concerts in there just they sound like you're in a drum and a barrel. Yeah. It's impossible to get they got the acoustics straight with U2 in that one. It was unbelievable. All right, Troy. Follow Troy on Twitter at Troy Macker. Good. Who do you like in the game, though, with the spread at 4.5?
I like the Patriots to cover. I think it's going to be a close game. Underdogs have covered in 5 straight Super Bowls. I'm not going to pick either team to win unless it's live. But I do like Patriots 4.5. If it gets down to 3.5, I'm not betting, but 4.5, I like it there. I think the Patriots are a good team.
Yep. All right, Troy. Good luck. Enjoy it, man. We'll talk to you on Monday. Get all the recap.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
It was Brady. It was the MVP.
They gave it to Brady.
Yeah.
And how many did you throw for? I think about 180.
Read your thing, and I'll
don't forget our friends at our thing. The people that pay our bills. At United Community Bank, your business is our business. We support the hardworking folks behind local business from initial startup loans to ongoing planning and assessment. United Community Bank is here for you. Our great team of bankers, Prentice Wilkes, Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry. Stop on by and discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Brady threw for 145 yards and a touchdown.
Won the MVP.
Antoine Smith had 18 carries for 92 yards.
You could have given it to Vinatieri.
Yeah, you might could have. Live at lunch here from Rufino's 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Court just broke in Tuscaloosa on the Charles Bediaco hearing. They are expecting a ruling this afternoon.
How about Sankey?
Yeah, he came up pretty strong
on
that. They requested a preliminary injunction allowing to play basketball for Alabama. The other judge recused himself. So we'll see. Sankey came out.
That was attention worthy. I mean, that made an impression on me. I mean, one of your proud members. I mean, we talk about it. I mean, Birmingham's been very friendly to Alabama over the years. I know it's not Alabama football, but still, that's pretty strong to come out that strong against one of your league members.
It's also the right thing to do, in my opinion. So I'm glad.
I mean, it's
but it's not a given that he would have. No, not against. One of your league members for sure.
He is eligible.
Yeah,
for
the moment. So we'll see what happens later this afternoon.
Only the Runt's losing the case right now.
they are also going to court. We'll take a break here live at Rufino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Out there somewhere in the world. Maybe even your local sports book.
Can anybody help us?
Let's bring in Bruce Marshall.
And we bring in Bruce, who I believe is in Las Vegas today as we get ready for the Super Bowl. Bruce, good afternoon. Good morning where you are, I think. How are you?
Yeah, good. Actually, in Boulder City, Nevada, this morning. So, yep, I'm in Nevada for sure.
60 years, man. You were at Super Bowl I.
Uh-huh.
Showing us some pictures this morning from being at the Coliseum back 60 years ago.
Yeah, it seems like yesterday. I mean, I was in third grade, so I tell people I went, and they think I'm like 90 years old. So no, not like that. But we had Rams tickets back then, so I mean it was, and so I was into it. I wasn't like a lot of third graders, but I guess I was. We were all into the Super Bowl, and it was big. And by the way, it was referred to as the Super Bowl then, and even though it wasn't officially changed until I think Super Bowl III, when they started calling it Super Bowl officially. Unofficially, they referred to it as Super Bowl right from the start. And the big magazines of the day, they call it the Super Bowl. They had a big, like a Rose Bowl sort of float at the game there at Super Bowl. Al Hurt, by the way, was one of the entertainers.
That's right.
And he's part owner of the owner of the Saints back then. But and another thing, I mean, a lot of people seem to think it wasn't that big a deal. It was so different in '66. They didn't even announce where the game was going to be played until like late November. And it wasn't even sure when the season started they were going to have the Super Bowl or the championship game between the two leagues. The merger just happened the previous summer in July, and it was sort of kicked around. They're going to probably have this game, and then they actually, it came together, and the Coliseum wasn't named as the host venue until like 6-7 weeks before the actual game. And so the venue, the news media outlets of the day covered it as much as they could. We didn't have an ESPN back then. We didn't have all the social media, but everything else, the networks, two networks, by the way, telecast the game. CBS and NBC both telecast it. But all in the news outlets and magazines, and all, it was a very big deal. The reason it wasn't a sellout crowd, one, the late announcing of the date, and two, that was a sort of a loosely organized boycott from the fans of the NFL blackout policy. And it was such a fury over not showing the game locally. A lot of people just said, forget it. Or you could put a clothes hanger on your TV antenna and maybe pick up the signal from Santa Barbara or San Diego. And I knew a lot of people who did that. But we were actually there, and the game was better than the history gives it credit for, 35-10. But it was a close game in the first half. And I was a Chiefs fan, so I was... kids at school would like Green Bay. They say, "Oh, it's going to be 200-0. Every play is going to be a touchdown for Green Bay." And I was a little bit of me was scared of that. So I was really glad when the Chiefs made a tackle on the opening kickoff. And then when they sacked Bart Starr on the first possession of the game, I thought, "Oh my God, they can really play with these guys." And the first half was a good first half. It wasn't until the second half when the game got away from the Chiefs. But it was a much better game than people give it credit for, and it was a very big deal. And yes, they did call it the Super Bowl in the press.
I don't remember Al Hurt being a part owner of the Saints. So, Jesuit High School. Went to Jesuit High School.
Wouldn't make him on the Saints, yeah.
Started playing, with sort of his mentor was Pete Fountain. But played the trumpet. Played for presidents, of course, at the Super Bowl. But, so he was, and it was a regular at the fairgrounds playing as well a lot. So
played a...
Instead of a bugler.
Yeah, instead of a bugler.
Yeah.
Bruce, it cost you and your dad $12 a piece to get into the game. I saw that on the ticket. That $12 face value on a ticket.
About 65, 70,000 there, Brucey.
Well, I mean, $12, and it was actually a pretty good seat. And the game program was great. And by the way, that's the first time I really had heard of the Saints, because they gave the Saints a page in the program, because they did a whole thing with all the teams. And John Macon was still around. I mean, his picture was there as the first owner, and they talked about how the Saints were going to be playing that fall. One other note, that picture I sent of me where you can barely make me out in that picture with Arizona's band in the foreground, in the background. That guy sitting behind us about 6 rows was Norm Van Brocklin. And at halftime, I went up and got his autograph, which I think I sent along to you on the Vikings page. He had yet to resign from the Vikings. He resigned from the Vikings about 2 weeks later, and that's when they brought Bud Grant in. But at that point, he was still the Vikings coach, and he was sitting right behind us. And he was really nice at halftime. I heard later he was kind of a gruff guy, but he was very cool to me. And I remember that distinctly from that Super Bowl.
By the way, face value on a ticket to this game, $950 to $8,500, depending on where you're sitting. Face value, depending on where you're sitting at Levi Stadium. And John Meekum, one other thing on him, he was 27 years old when he bought the Saints.
Hey, Bruce, this is shaping up. We're getting reports, and we just had it from Bet Rivers and others, and you know, a lot of our contacts are saying this is shaping up. Look, now listen, only 15% of the total handle is in for this game Sunday, but this is shaping up to be. It could be the highest percentage, most lopsided betting action that we had. Over 70% of the tickets, pretty much every outlet on the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, that's true. That little early push, the number went up just a little bit early. One more thought about Super Bowl I. They had the spaceman at halftime with the backpack and the Rocket Man. The loudest thing I ever heard in my life. I don't know that my ears are still. It was worse than being around a jet. It was so bloody loud. I can't believe. You've probably seen video of the Rocket Man flying at halftime.
Yes.
But yes,
yeah.
There's that early little bump up to 4.5. It sort of stayed there, but that's sort of in a no man's land of where the spread is, because you're above a secondary key number. It's not a 3 or a 7 as much as key numbers can be in vogue today with 2-point conversions and things. But it's a 4.5, and it's kind of stayed there for a while. So yeah, I can understand why there's some Seattle action at that price. Sure.
Rumor has it Rocket Man's performing at the Georgia LSU game at the PMAC tomorrow.
Well,
speed painting or Rocket Man,
Red Panda was there. They'd sell some tickets.
Red Charlie. But Bruce, the reason I bring it up, wouldn't you think like maybe the Bears and Patriots would have been more lopsided action, or maybe the Rams and New England, or some of the did it surprise you?
Yeah, a little bit. Except, it does. It really does, because I thought New England had a lot of. The people I'm talking to, I'm hearing some people actually liking New England, so I'm a little bit surprised by that. But New England had became so out of favor the last couple of years. I think it's just taken a while for the public to grasp them. But Seattle's been sort of out of favor too until this year for a while. So I'm a little surprised by that. Yeah.
All right, who you like?
Well, I came to my conclusion pretty quick, and I don't want to sound. Listen, I keep thinking, I was wrong in the Denver-New England game. I picked Denver to win, and we talked about that last week. But actually, Denver covered the spread in that game, so I wasn't actually wrong in that. And there were times I liked New England this season. I could see what was kind of going on with the Patriots, and mostly what was going on in the AFC this season. If you followed English Premier League last year, similar to what Liverpool had, everything sort of went its way. All the other contenders sort of collapsed around them with injuries or managerial problems, and Liverpool was sort of the last team left standing. I think in the AFC this year, it's sort of been that way for the Patriots. Nothing that they did wrong. They did everything they should have. We talked last week about how 2 weeks ago they won all their road games. Great. But think about the AFC this year. Teams collapsing around them. Expected contenders. Kansas City didn't do it. Baltimore didn't do it. Cincinnati didn't do it. Miami even was supposed to be better this year, didn't do it. Quarterback injuries. Mahomes, it was late in the year. That sort of finished off the Chiefs for good, but just consistent with the whole season. Joe Burrow missed a lot of the year. Cincinnati, Lamar Jackson got hurt, missed a good chunk of time, was never the same when he came back. How about Indianapolis? Up until midseason, that was the best team in the AFC until Daniel Jones got hurt. And, by the way, Patriots caught Denver minus Bo Nix in the AFC title game. So you see, everything's sort of fallen in their direction this year. And on the road, I know they got undefeated, but steady diet, Jets, Dolphins, Saints, Titans. They did win at Buffalo, but that was at a stage when Buffalo was losing some games to Miami and Atlanta earlier in the season. Beat Baltimore in December, but at that point, the Ravens were kind of a spent force. The schedule, the crossover, they played the NFC South this year. Plus, they get you one other interconference game. They didn't get the Rams or the Lions. They got the Giants. So you see, everything has just fallen so well for New England. And even in the playoffs with the Chargers and Texans banged up offensive lines, really banged up. Chargers down to their third running back. I mean, give New England credit for shutting down. They did what they're supposed to do, but like I said, everything just fell right. Drake May has not played that great in the playoffs. I don't fault him for the Denver game. He did make a couple of runs out of the pocket, but, I mean, he's passed for just over 500 yards in 3 games, sacked 5 times in each of the 3 games, and pocket presence, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, 6 fumbles in the first 2 playoff games against the Texans and Chargers. He hadn't looked good, and they're going to have to do a lot more with him. Now, maybe their defense is going to be able to keep Seattle in check, but Darnold has answered my criticisms of him thus far. No picks yet in the playoffs. Spectacular game last week against the Rams. They found a way to beat what I think was probably the best team in the league this year. The Rams beat them twice. And this is the team that looks for real. So all that stuff New England had going for it all season just doesn't apply in this game. It's got them to the Super Bowl. It's not going to get them over the line, though. I think Seattle wins, and maybe handily. I don't necessarily think this is going to be a close game. I think I have a 27-15 score for Seattle. I think it maybe stays under, but I think they win it kind of handily on Sunday.
All right, Bruce. And yeah, that was my first reaction on we were doing the Monday show. Was that I said, man, this reminds me of the New England's run in '85, man, because I just remember them getting recovering a fumble for a kickoff. I mean, on a kickoff for a touchdown against Oakland and in Miami, getting more turnovers. And just remember, did the research. It was 16 turnovers in those 3 games. The Jets committed 4. The Raiders in Miami both committed 6 turnovers in those 2 games on that way to the Super Bowl against the Bears in New Orleans.
That's right. I mean, they caught every break going through, and that was with Grogan and them, and in the playoffs. But this has sort of been going on all year with the Patriots, and the way that, we mentioned the schedule breaking and how all those other AFC contenders just something went wrong with all of them, and the Patriots avoided almost all of that this season, and they're like the last team left standing. But you got to get over one more hurdle, and now none of that stuff really applies against this team because Seattle has been so strong, and I think in a stronger conference this year, and that's why they're favored, and I think that's why most people are betting on them.
All right, Bruce, you favorite a couple of props for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I'm going to give you 2, and my annual caution is, I mean, I see so many people betting 12, 15 props, and it's almost always over, and just be careful. It's also a very tough way to watch a game when you've got props that are going everywhere, and it's tough to watch a game with people who all they've done is bet props, so whatever that's worth. But there's a couple that I like, and if you're going to have some fun with this, try to find a little bigger price that might be worth a small wager. The MVP, there have been receivers that have won this thing before, including the Game 1 Super Bowls. Max McGee, Julian Edelman won it a few years ago with the Patriots. Jackson Smith and Jigba is like plus 550 to win the MVP. Now, Darnold and May are the 2 top choices. But if Darnold has a good day, it's more than likely Smith and Jigba is going to be on the receiving end of some of those. And I know Gonzalez is a tough matchup for him out there in the corner, but this guy is such a big play threat. And I'm not sure Darnold could actually win a Super Bowl MVP. Smith and Jigba at plus 550 is worth a flyer, I think. One other one. And the other thought I have in the props always kind of envision how you think the game is going to go, and then and how it will proceed and build your props like that. So that's my one thought on Smith and Jigba. The other one is you can get a prop in the second half, scoring in the last 2 minutes of the second half. Plus 300 on a no. If Seattle's got the lead and has the ball, it could be killing the game off late. And I think it's going to be tough for New England to be scoring anyway. And I think if Seattle's in control of the game, it'll be sort of, finished by that point. I think no on any scoring in the last 2 minutes of the game at plus 300 is another one to take a look at.
All right, Bruce, enjoy the game, buddy. We will talk to you next week. Thank you, man. We appreciate it.
Have fun, boys.
All right, yes, indeed. Bruce Marshall checking in with us. Don't forget our friends at Total Maintenance. And boy, the weather's nice today, huh, Charlie?
It really is.
It's one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC heating companies since 1980. Before it gets hot, if you have a unit that's over 10 years old, if you have a unit that was serviced this past summer, now's the time to call 480-1000, 480-1000, and talk to my buddy Lucas Ragusa and them, and schedule for a technician to come out, evaluate your system, and then we'll weigh out all the options for you, because up to $5,500 discounted on certain units right now that we got to clear them out for the new units to come in. So we got to clear out some of this inventory. These are brand new units. I mean, we're a factory authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem. So, I mean, now is the time. Up to $5,500 in discounts off of select units from Total Maintenance if you're looking to replace it. You wait till summertime, price is going to hike up again, so now's the time to save you some money. 480-1000, Total Maintenance.
You ever hear Max McGee tell a story about how hungover he was
Yes.
in Super Bowl one?
Tulane.
He wasn't supposed to play. Boyd Dollar got hurt, and he had to go in there. Scored the first touchdown. Bart Starr was the MVP.
Scored two, though, right?
He did score another one. Yeah, scored the first touchdown in Super Bowl history. Live here at Rufino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
We're also brought to you by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers. Man, are you hurting? You got something that's bothering you. You got back pains. You got shoulder pain. You got neck soreness. Those things that are keeping you from getting around as well as you'd like, or maybe costing you a good night's sleep. Let folks at Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, Dr. Michael Goff and his staff, help you out. They've done it for our family for years. Get you adjusted, get you into an exercise and stretching program that'll loosen some things up. If you do need to graduate to dry needle and electric nerve stimulation, cryo, or ultrasound therapy, they can help you with those techniques as well to get you feeling better and get you moving around. Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway near Drusilla, Dr. Michael Goff, Louisiana Health and Injury Centers. Okay, and here's our props. Return to our 5-pack days. We'll give you 3 anytime touchdown scores in this game. Start with the lowest odds. Ramondre Stevenson at plus 135. He's getting just about all the carries now. He had 94% of their carries in the AFC Championship game. He's had 62% of their carries in the postseason. And most importantly, every carry inside the 5-yard line for the Patriots has been taken by Ramondre Stevenson in the postseason. So if they get it down close there, he's most likely to get the ball. Stevenson at plus 135. I'm going to go with Hunter Henry, tight end, plus 215. 22 red zone targets, leads the team, and the Seahawks have given up the 5th most receptions to tight ends in the NFL this year. So we'll go with Hunter Henry at plus 215. And Cooper Kupp, the old warhorse, plus 255. His targets have gone up in the postseason, 25% from the regular season. He's got at least 1 red zone target in each of the last 8 games. So we'll go with Cooper Kupp to score a touchdown at plus 255. And then I'm going to tweak my my favorite prop every year, which is over 2.5 players to attempt a pass. This is any trick play. This is if the backup gets in and throws a pass for any reason. We're going to tier this. Do what you want. I'm going to bet all 3. If you want to bet over 2.5 players to attempt a pass, plus 168. If you want to go over 2.5 players to complete a pass, that goes up to plus 290. And I'm going to take I had to throw one long shot in here, Jimmy. Over 2.5 players to throw a touchdown pass, plus 1,800. If you're looking for a non-quarterback to throw a touchdown pass, it's happened 5 times in Super Bowl history. Most recently, Joe Mixon for Cincinnati against the Rams. Of course, everybody remembers the Philly special. So it's happened 5 times, or if a backup quarterback, for whatever reason, would throw a touchdown, that would work too.
Did Mixon complete that pass?
I'm sorry?
Did Mixon complete that pass?
Yes,
Cincinnati?
touchdown pass. To
it's a touchdown?
Yeah, to T. Higgins. T. Higgins, yeah.
So Higgins had 2, huh? Hit the long one from Burrow to start the second half.
That's right, yeah. 2 touchdown passes in that one. Philly special was another one. Antoine Randall threw one in Super Bowl Extra Large. You remember that one. And you probably remember the other 2 as well. Robert Newhouse in the Cowboys-Broncos Super Bowl.
Lefty.
Was he? I didn't know that.
It's not. No, somewhere I want to say lefty. No,
he threw it. No, I think he's right-handed.
Okay.
He threw to Golden Richards, I think, caught the pass.
Yes,
maybe.
And then a fullback.
Yes,
fullback. Pass.
And Lawrence McCutcheon in Super Bowl 14 for the Rams against Pittsburgh also threw one. So it's possible. You get long odds. Take a shot.
To throw it.
Three guys throw it. And look.
Well.
It would be heartbreaking if a non-quarterback threw one and then one of the 2 quarterbacks didn't throw one.
Did you say the Philly special?
Yeah. Trey Burton.
Yeah.
So,
Trey Burton
ended up throwing the pass.
All right, Max, you got yours?
Sure thing.
All right,
don't have quite the juicy touchdown props that he's going with because I'm not sure if we're going to see a totally high-scoring game, so I'm a little hesitant to bet a touchdown.
They only got to score 1 each.
I know, but I do have one I'll get to in a second. First of all, in the game itself, I'm going to lean with the Seahawks here. Maybe you can do an alt line of like 6.5 and get some plus money, but I'm going to take the -4.5 with Seattle. I haven't heard anybody talk about Sam Darnold not being good in big games anymore. Turns out that sample size was too small. I mean, he had a couple bad games at the end of last year in big spots. Turns out in the playoffs he's been very good, including last couple weeks ago in the NFC Championship game. So I'm going to trust
what other
Seahawks.
Playoff games do we have?
Well, we had the Vikings last year.
That's it? You said three starts?
Now 3, yes. But then they lumped in big games, right?
The Detroit game was a big game. It was a 1 versus 5.
Right.
I mean, you're going to get the 1 seed or the 5
But
seed.
you also had the Rams game this year where he played well late in the season.
No,
So
I'll put that one in there. Absolutely.
People said he had a bad performances in big games. And
the first Rams game he did.
First one he did, but I'm just saying it was a very small sample of big games that even Sam Darnold's played in.
Include the San Francisco game, the late Saturday night game, where they won 13-3. He didn't play well in that one.
He didn't have to do much.
Pretty big.
He didn't have to do much there. In terms of props here, I'm going to start off with a defensive prop because I hit on this few weeks ago. Drake Thomas, over 5.5 tackles and assists. That's the Seattle linebacker, the Will linebacker. He's plus 117 to go over 5.5 tackles and assists. We've seen him involved in terms of running backs catching passes. And he's going to be guarding them a good bit. He's going to be chasing them down. And that adds a couple tackles because Jimmy, I know you like running backs for the Patriots to be involved in the passing game. So if he's going to get a couple extra tackles in the passing game, I think he'll get there with this number. Drake Thomas.
Okay.
Drake Thomas over 5.5 tackles and assists
Drake Thomas
for Seattle.
Over 5.5?
Over 5.5. You're getting plus money at plus 117 there.
Okay.
George Halani, the backup running back for Seattle. He's taken over for Zach Charbonnet, who's been hurt. Charbonnet was used in the receiving game a little bit, so I'm going to go over 11.5 receiving yards for George Halani. This is a normal -110 bet here. What you're getting here is a guy who got 4 targets, 3 receptions last week in Charbonnet's absence. I think he had like 25 receiving yards there, so he is going to take over. He's sort of a passing down back, going to get about 25% of snaps, but when he's on the field, he's not really running the ball a whole lot. So I would look for him in the passing game, George Halani over 11.5 receiving yards. And then here's a bit of a shot here. Elijah Arroyo, this is a tight end for Seattle, over a half a reception. It's a little bit hard to find. I found one at -125 here. And the good thing is, if he's inactive, which he didn't even play a snap in the NFC Championship game, he was coming off of an injury. He was coming off of IR. If he doesn't play, you get your money back here. But I do think if he gets snaps, he is going to be involved in the pass game. He's been targeted before earlier in the season when he was playing a lot. Now that he's healthy, he's off the injury report. He's had 2 weeks off the IR. And so Elijah Arroyo, I think he'll be involved. Maybe a little sprinkle at 11-1 anytime touchdown on Elijah Arroyo. They use a lot of heavy personnel, 2 tight end, 3 tight end sets. That's where Seattle's done a lot of their business with Clint Kubiak. And so I'd look for Arroyo to be on the field and maybe get involved in the passing game. He's not a great blocker to begin with. To an under. We got to take an under here in the Super Bowl. And I think we're going to get off to a slow start in this game. So I'm going to look at Sam Darnold under 51.5 first quarter passing yards. 51.5 seems like a lot in the first quarter for him to get involved when a lot of times early game script, you're going to see them kind of ease them in the game. Some short passes, not looking to exploit the downfield just yet in the first quarter. Sam Darnold hasn't really got here a whole lot as of late unless he has this big play to Smith and Jigba. And I just think they're going to ease him into the game, despite what I said earlier about the big game success this season in the playoffs. So Sam Darnold under 51.5 first quarter passing yards.
Hope the Patriots get the ball first, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
that would be very helpful. Yeah, I'll be rooting for the coin toss in that respect. And then one more here. The Seahawks have gone for the fewest fourth down attempts of any team in the NFL. And yes, Jimmy, he was my vote, Mike McDonald, to be Coach of the Year. So he doesn't go for fourth downs, but he was my vote.
Elizabeth.
You betraying the brotherhood?
Elizabeth, I'm having the big one.
Turns out coaching is about more than fourth down conversions.
Elizabeth. Oh, shoot.
Take your analytics and do that with them.
12 attempts, 7 conversions this season, and none in the playoffs. So I'm going to go under a half of a fourth down conversion for Seattle. It's minus 110. He has 7 all year, including the playoffs. And I think they're going to win this game.
Seattle under
Seahawks
a half fourth down.
under a half fourth down conversions, not attempts, conversions.
Oh,
it's
conversion.
minus 110. So they have to convert. And I think the only way you get beat here is if they have like a half yard, because Mike McDonald, he will kick it. He will punt it. He will kick it if they're fourth down and 2 or so. So you're just sweating a half-yard conversion of some sort, but he hasn't done this all year long, and I think they're going to be leading this game. So if you think they're going to be in a winning game script, they're less likely to go for it on fourth down.
That required a lot of research. That's good. That's good. I like that
The
one.
guy that was really, really successful on 2-point conversions, and then also, and had one go against him, a big high-profile game in Indianapolis when they went for fourth down in his own 25, 30-yard line. Bill Belichick. I mean, Charlie, how many times did they need to? I mean, how many 2-point conversions they need to send it into overtime against Atlanta? 3?
They were down 28-3, so at least 2. Yeah.
I mean, two for sure. How about the divisional game before they played in Indianapolis in San Diego? Direct snap to Kevin Falk, 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a great success rate, on going for 2, and stuff like that. We consider, but the reason I bring him up because both of these coaches are defensive coordinators, turn coaches. So defensive-minded coaches are a little bit more conservative by nature.
Especially
that's just the way it is.
Especially early in the game. And I've seen some people, this is one thing to attack. With the Super Bowl, you have so many menu options. First drive props. You could do punt in the first drive or something like that just to ease them into the game.
I got a spin-off on that, so it kind of ties into that one as well as one of my props. And we're going to check in with my boy, little Willie Clem over in Tuscaloosa. He was hot last year to close out the season. We'll get his picks in just a little bit. Don't forget my friends over at Workbox. Workbox, movable storage needs, commercial or residential. Shipping containers, custom storage containers, all different sizes. Most come with one standard size, not at Workbox. 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, 8x40 feet. You know it. We could customize them for any way you want, anything that you desire with the lighting, electricity, climate control, whatever you need. Call my buddies at the Workbox 343-4886, 343-4886, and WorkboxLLC.com.
Patriots, 2-point conversions in Super Bowl 51. Take a break. Come back here at Rufino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch with Odd and Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All right, my man was hot last year at the end. He couldn't wake up, and partying too much, in Tuscaloosa during the football season. That was too early, but he's up now. Did you go to class, Will? Did you go to class?
I went to class, man. Big calculus class. Went to it. Study hard.
I mean, I don't want the parents from Georgia coming, hit on me, man. You distracted my son from class and all that. Okay, I don't want that.
I liked calculus class so much I went 3 consecutive semesters to the same class.
Oh, man. So, look, man, what you think of the Super Bowl before we get to your props? What do you think of the game?
Oh, I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. But I think it's going to be great. I think Sam Darnold comes out. and does good and takes away this W.
Yep. All right, let's get to him right now, and that's one of your first your props here, and Darnold maybe force one in there. You think he's going to have an interception?
Yeah, I think he lets one go and one gets away from him. But I think he's going to have a great game, but I think one gets away. This defense, Christian Gonzalez and those guys, they're really good, and I think that one gets away from him.
All right. What about his main target? A lot of action both ways. What do you think about JSN? The receiving yard total is at 93.5.
Yes, as in I know JSN is the best wide receiver in the league, but I think everybody's going over on his prop, and I think I'm so high on Christian Gonzalez, and I think that he shuts him down today. He's probably going to be following Jason a little bit, but I think he locks him up and keeps him under the 90. Is it 93.5? Am I correct on that?
93.5 it is. Yeah, 93.5.
Yeah, so
Max, is that what he's been most of the year? Is that right, 93.5? Is that where he's been most of the year?
I feel like the last game, NFC title game, it was around that number.
Gotcha. So 93.5. So maybe with this is your third prop that maybe somebody else with that Darnold will share the wealth a little bit.
That's kind of tailing off the JSN bet, and I think they're going to have to go somewhere else with the ball, and that's going to be Cooper Kupp. He has the experience. He's been in this. I think that they give him 3. He'll have, what is his line, 3.5 or 3?
3 more catches. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take.
So that's I guess it's 2.5. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take that over, and I think he gets 4 or 5 catches today.
There we go. So, hey Max, this is kind of like correlated, JSN under yardage. Do they allow you to parlay sort of these correlated props?
Yeah,
they do. They do. I would be careful though. They allocate the juice as well. So if they're correlated, they will lower the price
pay as much. Okay.
If they're negatively correlated, that's one thing to do sometimes. Like over receiving yards, but under receptions. If you think he's just going to get 2 big catches like Booty, that's one you can actually juice up the price on the parlay.
I got you. What's your plans? Where are you watching the game?
I think we are going to go to a little house party and watch it all together. Me and Ethan are going to get together and watch the game.
He's been going to class, huh?
Of course he's been going to class. He's academic lesson.
So you had to think about it, huh? Think about it.
All right. Well, man, we appreciate it, man. Take care of yourself. I'll see y'all in a little over a month for our Parents' Weekend. So,
yes, sir.
Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. I'll see you then.
All right, buddy. Take care, man. Keep up the good work in the classroom. Willie Klimt checking in from Tuscaloosa.
The quality of the meal you're going to buy them depends greatly on how well he does with these picks.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, we were all smiles last trip, so we'll see how this one goes. You ready for mine?
I am. Yeah.
All right. I think both teams are throwing to the backs, and we talked about it earlier, especially New England with the. With Seattle's given up more receptions to running backs than anybody in the league. That is crazy, huh? I mean, that's how they attack. They're worried about their pressure. And so it's one way to do it. So Ramondre Stevenson over 23.5 receiving yards. Ramondre Stevenson over 23.5 receiving yards. I think Seattle's going to be throwing it a little bit as well. I think both of these coaches are first-timers. Most of these rosters are first-timers in the Super Bowl, and it's just safer stuff, sort of that to try and get – I mean, that's how you kind of try and get your quarterback in rhythm. You throw some short, safe stuff to try and get them in rhythm. So I got Kenny Walker also over 21.5 receiving yards. So Stevenson over 23.5 receiving yards, Walker over 21.5 receiving yards. I do think that this New England rush defense is legit, and I think they are going to be stacking up Walker a lot. I think Walker's going to get a lot of carries, but I think that Walker's going under 72.5 rushing yards. So Walker under 72.5 rushing yards. Talk about May and his ability to rush. Don't you think McDonald's going to have a spy on him? don't you think they got everything else kind of in check? Don't you think it might be, where this offense, you're going to that's kind of my biggest fear. Off script, he tucks it, he can run. And I think they're going to have a spy on him, especially on third downs. I'm going under May rushing yards. It's 37.5. It's a lot. It's also got a little bit of a sore shoulder. Also, I'm going May under 37.5 rushing yards. I think both teams are going to be jittery early, and I like Wes Reynolds. No score in the first 6.5 minutes. Max, do they have one at 4.5, 5.5, and 6.5?
It really depends on which book you're at, but I think they're.
What
at
is the closest
6
to
minutes.
the? It's 6 minutes.
I think 6 minutes is what I've seen.
Okay,
and it's about minus 150 to the no inside. So 630 is probably the best.
So I like that. I like the under in the game. I always like the under because it's always the betting public bets the over. But I'm going to go first half under because I think they kind of ease into it. I like Wes's under 6.5 minutes of score. But first half under is 22.5. So first half under 22.5. These Max, you talked about how they don't like to go for it on fourth down a whole lot. Defensive-minded coaches, they'll play field position. Both defenses are very good. I think it's going to be a defensive game, a safe game. Punts, over 7.5 total punts. Over 7.5 total punts. And then I like an under game, too, and they are just the love affair is real. It's alive and well for Sam Darnold. They are pounding him to win the MVP. They're pounding him yards over. Give me under passing yards for Sam Darnold, under 228.5.
Talked about putting a spy on Drake May. I was watching this film study breakdown on the game. Seattle will actually employ multiple spies, and they'll change it. So you think of a spy, you think of just one guy. He's got him the whole way. They'll change their spy based on what the formation is. So you never get glued into one guy, and they got like 3 different guys that they feel like can do it. So, yes, I think they will be doing that.
I know the best one to spy, but I don't want taking him out of coverage.
Witherspoon?
Yes,
yeah.
I mean, that guy.
He'll hit you.
Oh, God, he's the best, man.
He's one of the best tackling cornerbacks.
Who is a better one?
I really can't think of one.
I mean, man, we're talking about the all-timers, dude, as far as hitting you.
Yeah.
Like Bobby Taylor, who was so big.
He hits like a safety.
Who was built like a safety for Philadelphia out of Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, some of the best hitting cornerbacks ever. I mean, think about –
I'm just happy when the corners will get up there and actually make contact a lot of times. He'll hit you.
He is fun to watch. So that's our props. And so we'll kind of do them in review, some of them when we come back, the ones that contributed earlier in the week as well.
Live at Rufino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Back here at Rufino's live at lunch. All right, recap. You have no shortage of things that you can bet if you want.
3, 4, 5,
we've been doing this all week, so
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 different contributors. Is that right?
You can find something to bet
my buddy
on
Coach, call the Coach from Natchez, my buddy. Spent many hours watching games with him. He's got a couple that he likes. Mark Hollins, over 27.5 receiving yards. Is that the best number?
24.5 now.
Oh, 24.5? Where's that?
24.5. I'm going to have to find that again. I think it was DraftKings, I believe.
Okay. And Bobo over reception at plus 160. You got the, was it like only his 4th catch of the year? Was it in the NFC Championship game?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Touchdown.
Oh, I'm well aware.
And, a little bit hard to find some of these over half of receptions, but you can find that out there.
All right. Let's see. We had who earlier? A. Seminara on Tuesday, who gave us 2 out of 3 in college basketball on Tuesday. He's got the alt line, Seattle minus 13.5 plus 245. He has Halani. Over 15 or over 14.5 rushing yards at plus 145. And then he has over 2.5 players to attempt to pass. It's popular. I'm glad I got down at plus 190 earlier this week. The best now is plus 160, Max?
160 is what I'm saying, yes.
Yeah, they're pounded at. Andy Isco on Tuesday gave us New England plus 5. Seattle defense over 3.5 sacks. So over 3.5 sacks. That's a lot, huh?
Yeah.
That's a lot. How many did they have in they didn't sack Stafford much, huh? I don't remember him being sacked too much, but he also has defense and special teams TD plus defense or special teams TD plus 270. Team that scores first does not win the game. Team that scores first does not win the game plus 145. And Shaheen anytime TD. I got to take a shot on Shaheen too. I was looking at like over 40 yards receiving. That's one for him. Is it too much to ask? They throw that twice a game, the fly pattern.
Well, they threw it on. There was the first pass of the game or the first play of the game.
One. It was early.
Yeah.
And then they didn't go back to it, huh?
No, he didn't have another catch. I don't even know if he had another target. Really.
I mean,
it's Super Bowl. You don't need to wait on anything.
I mean, how many times does he just blow the top off the coverage, man? I mean, oh my goodness. All right, Colucci came in earlier. He said Drake May first time. I'm sorry, the first TD Drake May. I'm not sure what that is paying, Max. That got to be about 10-1 or something, huh? About 8 or 10.
More than that. I was just looking that one up. I think it was 16-1.
16-1. He's going. By the way, Colucci, an overtime away from sweeping the board again last night. Tampa Bay rolled. By the way, Tampa Bay, did you see the penalties?
I saw it was like they had like 4 or 5 goals early.
They won like 6-1, but they had penalty minutes like it was a brawl. It was a brawl between them and Carolina by minus 1.5. They won 2-0. And Philadelphia plus 114. They lost in overtime. He was that close to sweeping the board again. And he's laddering on New England alt line. New England minus 3.5. New England minus 7.5. New England minus 10.5. Can you tell who he's pulling for?
Yeah.
Can you tell who they're writing action on?
They're
Seattle.
yes, Seattle.
Yes.
All the sports books want low scoring.
Matt Humans, Darnold over 29.5 attempts. Darnold over 29.5 passing attempts. Darnold in interception. Yes, to have an interception, minus 130. Kenny Walker, under 73 yards rushing. JSN, a TD, and for it to be a 3-point game.
And Johnny Avello at the DraftKings Sportsbook says, it doesn't matter who wins. If the game's up 34-31, that's bad for us.
Yeah.
Because of all of the prop bets and all of the touchdown scores.
My man, Johnny A.
Thanks to Rufino's for hosting us. Everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy the game. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.